Sister Wives, Christine Brown's ultimate revenge on Kody, his reputation will never recover. The world of Sister Wives has always been filled with tension, shifting loyalties, and dramatic revelations. But Christine Brown's story has become the centerpiece of what many fans see as the ultimate act of empowerment and revenge against Kody Brown. For years, Christine endured heartbreak, neglect, and betrayal, but now, her bold moves and sharp revelations are creating shockwaves that threaten to permanently damage Kody's reputation, not just as a husband, but as a father and as the leader of the polygamous family that first captivated TLC viewers. Christine's so-called revenge isn't loud, violent, or cruel. Instead, it's calculated, dignified, and devastatingly effective. By telling her truth, stepping away from the toxic cycle, and exposing cracks in Kody's carefully constructed image, Christine has managed to reclaim her power while leaving Kody's public standing in ruins. To understand how this revenge unfolded, we have to go back to Christine's darkest days in the Brown family. She entered the plural marriage as the third wife, deeply committed to the principles of faith and family. Christine once believed in the idea of sisterhood, of unity, of multiple wives working together to build a strong household. But what she experienced over the years was vastly different. Kody's increasing favoritism toward Robyn, his fourth wife, became impossible to ignore. Christine often spoke about feeling like a basement wife, overlooked and undervalued, while Robyn enjoyed the privileges of Kody's time, attention, and affection. Fans remember how Christine's pain became more and more visible on screen, even as Kody continued to dismiss her concerns. He belittled her, gaslit her, and often portrayed her struggles as weakness or selfishness. For Christine, the breaking point came when her daughter Isabel needed surgery for her scoliosis. Kody refused to travel with them, citing COVID-19 fears, even though he regularly broke his own rules when it came to spending time with Robyn and her children. That moment crystallized everything for Christine. She realized Kody was no longer a partner, no longer the father figure he claimed to be, and certainly no longer the man she wanted to share her life with. Christine's revenge truly began the moment she decided to leave. For Kody, the idea of a wife rejecting him was unthinkable. He had always presented himself as the one in control, the one who dictated the rules of the family. By walking away on her own terms, Christine struck the first blow to his ego. She didn't beg, she didn't wait for his approval, she simply packed her things and left. That act alone shattered the illusion of Kody's authority. But Christine didn't stop there. She embraced her independence and started building a new life, both on and off camera. Social media became her stage, and fans flocked to support her. Every photo of Christine smiling, traveling, or spending time with her children was a direct contrast to the gloomy, fractured life she left behind. Each post became a subtle form of revenge, showing Kody that she was happier without him. And then came the memoirs, interviews, and candid conversations. Christine started sharing the truth about her years in the family, and what she revealed was damning for Kody. She spoke about his emotional neglect, his constant favoritism toward Robyn, and his unwillingness to nurture relationships with his other children. These revelations painted a picture of Kody that was far from the charismatic family man viewers were introduced to in the early seasons of Sister Wives. The public began to turn on him. What was once curiosity about polygamy turned into frustration and disgust toward Kody's behavior. Instead of being the proud patriarch, Kody became the villain of his own story. Christine didn't need to raise her voice or launch attacks, simply telling her truth was enough to ruin the reputation he had spent years crafting. Perhaps the most powerful element of Christine's revenge is how she redefined herself outside of Kody's shadow. She fell in love again, marrying David Woolley in a joyful celebration that fans described as the wedding she always deserved. By showing the world that she could find happiness, respect, and true love after leaving Kody, Christine delivered the ultimate blow. She proved that life after Kody was not only possible, but infinitely better. Meanwhile, Kody's world seemed to crumble. His relationships with his other wives collapsed one by one. Janelle followed Christine's lead and left him. Mary, after years of being strung along, also distanced herself. What remained was Kody and Robyn, isolated and defensive, while the rest of the family moved forward without him. For fans, the contrast couldn't be more striking. Christine's life is a story of rebirth and redemption. Kody's, on the other hand, is a tale of loss and decline. His reputation as a loving father was called into question as his adult children, including Garrison and Gabriel, openly expressed their hurt and disappointment. His credibility as a leader of a plural family collapsed as one wife after another walked away. Christine's revenge is poetic because it isn't rooted in spite, it's rooted in truth. She didn't destroy Kody with lies or manipulation. She simply revealed what had always been there: his selfishness, his neglect, and his inability to treat all his wives and children equally. In doing so, she freed herself and left him exposed. Every time Christine appears in interviews, fans rally behind her. Every time she shares another chapter of her journey, Kody's reputation takes another hit. TLC may have built the sister wives' empire on the idea of a large, united family, but Christine's exit and revelations have exposed just how broken that foundation always was. In the end, Christine's ultimate revenge is that she doesn't need Kody at all. She is thriving, loved, respected, and free, while he is left to grapple with the consequences of his actions. His reputation will likely never recover, because Christine has already shown the world who he really is. And perhaps that's the deepest cut of all. Kody once thought he could control the narrative, control his wives, and control how the world saw him. But Christine proved otherwise. By reclaiming her story, she didn't just take back her power, she ensured that Kody's legacy would forever be tainted by the truth he tried so hard to bury. Christine's revenge wasn't about destruction, it was about liberation. And in liberating herself, she destroyed the carefully constructed image Kody had built for decades. His downfall wasn't loud, but it was devastating. His reputation may never recover, and Christine will always be remembered as the one who finally walked away and refused to let him define her any longer. Christine Brown's decision to leave Kody was only the beginning. What looked at first like a personal choice to walk away from a broken marriage has transformed into a full-blown reckoning that Kody can't outrun. Each passing season, each new interview, and each social media update from Christine chips away at the crumbling facade Kody tried so desperately to maintain. His reputation as a confident leader and caring patriarch has dissolved before the public eye, and it's Christine who lit the match that set it all ablaze. The heart of this revenge isn't in any one explosive revelation. Instead, it's in the slow unraveling of Kody's carefully built image. For years, Kody painted himself as the man who could balance 4 wives, 18 children, and the challenges of plural marriage. But Christine's departure exposed just how much of that narrative was smoke and mirrors. Once she walked away, the cracks became impossible to ignore. Christine's power lies in her authenticity. While Kody spirals into angry rants on screen, blaming his wives, blaming his kids, and even blaming the audience, Christine remains calm, collected, and joyful. That contrast has been devastating for Kody's reputation. Fans look at him and see bitterness. They look at Christine and see resilience. Without saying a word, she continues to win the public's sympathy while Kody loses more ground with every episode. One of the most cutting aspects of Christine's revenge is how she has redefined her relationships with her children. During her years with Kody, much of the emotional labor fell on her shoulders. She was the one nurturing, supporting, and sacrificing. Kody, meanwhile, grew more distant, especially with the children who weren't part of Robyn's household. Now, Christine's bond with her kids has become stronger than ever. She travels with them, celebrates their milestones, and proudly shares their accomplishments. For fans, this is proof of where the real heart of the family always was, with Christine, not Kody. Every moment Christine spends uplifting her children publicly is another reminder of Kody's absence. His neglect stands in sharp relief against Christine's devotion. And in the court of public opinion, that difference is damning. Kody's reputation has also been shattered by how Christine has handled her new marriage. Her love story with David Woolley is everything her relationship with Kody wasn't. Public displays of affection, heartfelt tributes, and genuine happiness have painted a clear picture. Christine didn't leave polygamy because she couldn't handle it, she left because Kody couldn't value her. Now, as fans watch her thrive with David, the comparison is impossible to ignore. This, too, is part of Christine's ultimate revenge. By finding love and stability elsewhere, she has shown the world that Kody was the problem all along. He can no longer hide behind the excuse that plural marriage is inherently difficult. Christine's joy with David has destroyed that argument. The message is clear: Christine wasn't asking for too much. She was simply asking for love and respect, something Kody refused to give. The more Christine shines, the more isolated Kody becomes. On screen, viewers see him spiraling, angry at his adult children, frustrated with his ex-wives, and clinging desperately to Robyn as his only remaining partner. What once looked like a strong family unit has collapsed into fragments, and Kody is left standing in the wreckage, exposed and defensive. And Christine doesn't even have to attack him directly for the damage to continue. Her silence at times speaks louder than words. By focusing on her happiness instead of engaging in constant back-and-forths with Kody, she demonstrates just how little power he has over her now. That, in itself, is a form of revenge, refusing to give him the attention he so desperately craves. Fans have noticed how Christine's narrative has become central to Sister Wives. What began as Kody's story of building a plural family has turned into Christine's story of breaking free from it. Each season now seems to revolve around the fallout of her departure, and every revelation casts Kody in a darker light. Christine didn't just leave the family, she took the spotlight with her, and in doing so, left Kody exposed to harsh scrutiny. Kody's attempts to salvage his reputation have only backfired. His rants about loyalty, his accusations against his wives, and his dismissive comments toward his children only deepen the divide between him and the audience. The more he tries to justify himself, the worse he looks. Meanwhile, Christine doesn't even need to defend herself. The truth speaks for itself. The ultimate sting in this revenge is that Christine has turned her pain into power. She has embraced opportunities outside the Brown family, securing partnerships, growing her fan base, and thriving on social media. Her laughter, her confidence, and her refusal to be weighed down by the past have become infectious. Fans root for her not just because she escaped Kody, but because she's flourishing in a way that proves leaving him was the best decision she could have made. In many ways, Christine's revenge is ongoing. Every time a new season airs, every time she shares a joyful update, and every time she reminds fans of what she endured, Kody's reputation takes another hit. What was once the story of a man managing a large plural family has turned into the story of his downfall, and Christine is at the center of it. His legacy will always be tied to the wives who left him. Christine was the first to walk away, and by doing so, she gave the others courage to follow. Janelle's decision to leave was influenced by Christine's strength. Mary's final distancing was part of the domino effect Christine set in motion. Without intending to, Christine became the catalyst for the collapse of Kody's empire. That collapse is the ultimate revenge. He lost everything because he couldn't value what he had. Christine's revenge isn't over, because Kody's reputation is still unraveling. He will forever be remembered not as the man who successfully managed a plural marriage, but as the man whose selfishness destroyed it. Christine ensured that narrative by living her truth, refusing to stay silent, and building a new life filled with joy. For Kody, there is no escape from the humiliation. His reputation will never recover, because Christine has already rewritten the story. The world no longer sees him as the charismatic patriarch. They see him as the man who lost it all, and Christine as the woman who finally stood up and walked away. Christine Brown's decision to walk away from Kody Brown didn't just free her from years of pain and neglect, it triggered a chain reaction that has left Kody's entire future in ruins. What once looked like a thriving family empire has collapsed, piece by piece, and the wreckage points directly back to Christine's bold stand. By leaving, speaking her truth, and refusing to play by Kody's rules, Christine has delivered the kind of revenge that cuts deeper with time. Kody once believed his legacy would be tied to his vision of polygamy. He wanted the world to see him as a pioneer, a man capable of balancing multiple wives and children in harmony. For years, the TLC cameras helped him spin that narrative. But Christine shattered the illusion. Her departure showed that what was happening behind closed doors was not harmony, it was dysfunction. Not balance, it was favoritism. Not love, it was control. The first sign of Kody's empire crumbling came almost immediately after Christine left. Fans saw him unravel on screen, furious that she dared to reject him. His words revealed more about his ego than about the reality of their marriage. He accused her of betrayal, selfishness, and disloyalty, never once admitting to his own failures as a husband. That anger, broadcast to millions, became a permanent stain on his reputation. Instead of inspiring sympathy, it made viewers rally behind Christine even more. Christine's revenge was never about tearing Kody down with lies, it was about exposing the truth. Favoritism toward Robyn, and emotional abuse. The most devastating part? She didn't need to exaggerate. The footage already existed. Fans could see for themselves how Kody dismissed her, ignored her needs, and showed little interest in their children compared to Robyn's. Christine simply confirmed what the audience had long suspected. 0-0. Her strength in leaving also gave others the courage to follow. Janelle, once Kody's most practical and steady partner, began to question her place. The example Christine set showed Janelle that life outside Kody's shadow was not only possible, but freeing. Soon after, Janelle made the same choice, she walked away. That was strike two against Kody's empire. Then came Mary, who for years had been strung along with empty promises of reconciliation. Once Christine and Janelle were gone, Mary could no longer ignore the truth, Kody didn't want her, and she didn't need him. She cut ties as well. What's left of Kody's empire now? Just him and Robyn, isolated and defensive, clinging to the idea of family when the family itself has fractured beyond repair. Christine's revenge is that she not only freed herself, she inspired a collapse so massive that Kody will never recover. The wives he once controlled have become independent women, thriving without him. His dream of a united plural family is gone forever, replaced by resentment, distance, and anger. Christine's revenge doesn't stop with the family's collapse. Her happiness has become a symbol of what Kody could never provide. When she married David Woolley, fans described it as the wedding she always deserved, the love-filled celebration that stood in stark contrast to her years with Kody. Photos of Christine smiling, dancing, and radiating joy sent a clear message: she won. While Kody stews in bitterness, Christine is living the life she always wanted. That image, Christine glowing with happiness while Kody sulks in defeat, is one of the sharpest forms of revenge. Kody once insisted Christine was the problem, claiming she was disloyal and impossible to please. But the truth is undeniable now. With David, Christine is loved, cherished, and valued. The problem was never Christine. The problem was always Kody. And that realization has destroyed whatever remained of his public credibility. TLC itself has become part of the revenge story. Early seasons of Sister Wives centered on Kody's dream of proving plural marriage could work. But as Christine's story unfolded, the focus shifted. Now the show is less about polygamy and more about Kody's downfall. Viewers tune in not to admire his leadership, but to watch the aftermath of his failures. Christine has effectively hijacked the narrative of Sister Wives, turning it from Kody's empire into her liberation story. The humiliation doesn't end there. Kody's relationships with his children have also been exposed as deeply fractured. Several of his kids have spoken openly about their pain, especially Garrison and Gabriel, who felt abandoned and dismissed by their father. Christine's decision to prioritize her children has highlighted the contrast. She is present, loving, and supportive, while Kody is seen as absent, controlling, and bitter. Every time one of his children speaks out, it reinforces Christine's truth and deepens Kody's disgrace. Christine's revenge also lives in the fans themselves. The overwhelming support she receives online, the way audiences cheer her on while criticizing Kody, is a constant reminder that she has won the public battle. Social media has become her platform, and every joyful post, every new milestone, every celebration becomes another jab at Kody's pride. He can't escape it. Wherever he looks, Christine's victory is undeniable. For years, Kody tried to silence Christine by belittling her feelings, dismissing her concerns, and painting her as disloyal. But by walking away and thriving, Christine proved that her instincts were right all along. That is the ultimate revenge, showing the world that the one Kody tried hardest to discredit is the one who ended up being the strongest. His empire is finished. His reputation is in tatters. His future in polygamy is gone. And all of it stems from the courage Christine found to say enough. Her revenge is not loud or cruel, it's enduring. Every day she lives in happiness is another day Kody's humiliation deepens. His name will forever be linked to failure, while Christine's will forever be linked to freedom. The final blow is this: Kody will never escape Christine's shadow. She left him, but her story continues to define his downfall. Her revenge is eternal because it's tied to the truth. No matter what he says, no matter how he tries to spin the story, the world has seen who he really is. And Christine made sure of that.